Hi, in this video I'm going to show you how to add workers to your projects in OKHotShot. The first thing you want to do is add workers under your tenant account. These are people that you're working with either on a one project basis, or in general you tend to work with the same people. Either way, you have the same process for adding workers to your tenant account. And then once you've got some workers in your tenant account, you can add them on project activities. So the default view in OKHotShot is your projects tab on the primary navigation. You're going to want to click on workers, because like I said, the first thing we have to do is add workers. So you have a default worker for your tenant name. I signed up as this demo tenant, as demo company is the name. That's why that's showing up there. You see a button down here in the secondary navigation called add a worker. You click on that. We're going to add some basic people here. We have a guy named Andy, and he's an analyst. And give him an email address. And password. You can check the box if you want to send them a welcome email, and also check the box if they want to change their password next time they log in. You can upload a whole lot of other information about them. You can put some biographical information, what date they started. The system's got to automatically assign them an employee ID, or you can update the employee ID if you already got a employee ID system that you're using. You can upload documents associated with the person, whether it's their resume or other stuff. Down at the bottom, you've got worker roles. So common roles, basically the employee is the base role. In addition to that, over time we're going to add functionality. Of course, project manager has some functionality over here in the project roles. Some of these others don't do a whole lot right now, except for this tenant administrator. Tenant administrator is going to be able to do all the back end stuff on OKHotShot. So they're going to have kind of God rights on your tenant account. Project roles, another piece of this. The main thing that we're keying off of right now are project manager and project team. You can see the project team is marked by default. If this person is a project manager, you can mark them in the project manager role, and then that will drive their inclusion. You can designate them as a project manager on a particular project, which gives them rights on that project. For now, we're going to leave Andy as just the project team member and employee, and we're going to hit add worker. And there we go. So what you'll see in the worker profile, you'll see the information that we kind of skipped over. I didn't include very much in there. You can come in here and update the workers' roles, as we said earlier. You also have on the secondary navigation, you can look at skills and experience. This is especially if you've got quite a few people that you work with. You can keep notes in here on what they do. You can also, in the future, we're going to work on producing resumes and matching up workers with projects so that you can use skills and experience and education certification when someone's requesting a specific person, or if you need a person with some specific skill set. Also, for Andy, we can designate if they're a contractor or an employee, and you can also have agreements. So if you've got contracts with a person, you can have that agreement uploaded up here with a start and end date. You can have reminders set about when that agreement's going to expire, etc. And of course, you can assign Andy to a project. We'll work on that in a second. The billing and pay rates is important. So if you're going to assign Andy on a project, you're going to use the invoicing feature. You're going to want to use this functionality here, which I'll show you in a little while. Alright, so we're going to add a few more because I've got a staff of projects. So Andy, analyst. We've got Jerry, and he's a Java programmer. Enter the email address. And we're going to leave him. I'm going to go ahead and mark the programmer over here, and we'll say he's a programmer for services. All this is going to do is give you some labels that you can use. It doesn't drive those other than project manager and project team do not drive functionality. They're just going to give you a label that you can use to track who does what. And we'll put one more in. We see this. We got Tammy, and Tammy's a tester. There we go. We've added Tammy. I'll tell you what. Let's go ahead and do one more. Paul PM. He's our project manager. As you can see, it's pretty quick to add folks. It all depends on how much detail you want to get into in terms of how much you want to track on people. We've made it as easy as possible to add your workers quickly. Working on functionality where we can import it from Outlook. It's just a matter of getting that in the pipe. Got a lot of stuff we're working on. Okay, so if I click on the Workers tab, I'll see a list of all my workers, and you'll see status stoplight. You'll see the tasks that they've been assigned, which right now none of them been assigned any tasks. The status stoplight and status synopsis will tell you information that the worker can update about their status. So we have an object called project status that obviously the project manager fills out to say how things are going, but also a worker can fill out their own status to escalate issues that they're seeing in their work. Alright, next thing we're going to do, we're going to put some of these people on some tasks and projects. There's several ways to do this. I'm going to show you one, kind of the most common way. You go to projects. I've got a project called Killer App that I set up the other day with some basic tasks in here. And I'm going to look at if you go down the left hand side, I'll see a link that says Workers. And I can add a worker to this project. So let's look at some tasks. I know that I've got to finalize scope, costs, and benefits, and I'm going to need an analyst function to do that. Analyst Andy. I can add Andy to all the tasks in this inception phase, which makes sense because inception is all about getting the project started. And we're going to leave them, I don't think I gave them a role other than project team. I can put an estimated start and end on how long, if they're going to only be part of a piece of that task, like only the first half of the task. I'm not going to do that in this case. But I am going to give Andy some hours on these tasks that I'm giving him. So I'm going to give him, let's say, 40 hours. And you see Andy has 2 tasks and non-billed hours of 40 hours. So he doesn't have any actual hours, but he's got some estimated hours out there. I'll add another worker. Let's see. We'll do you can change projects. I'm keeping the same project. Development of services. We're going to put Java Jerry in there, and he's going to be a programmer of services. And we'll give him 100 hours for that task, and hit save. And there you go. That's how you add them from the project screen. Another thing that you can do, you can go over to the worker screen and go to, assign projects. Basically, you get a similar functionality form. Let's say this is more of a person-oriented. Let's look at Tester Tammy. And I've got the project. Oh, I don't have Tester Tammy assigned to any project, so I can't do that. The key on the workers form is they have to already be assigned to the project at some level. Then you can add them to more tasks. So let's go back. Let me show you that. We'll go ahead and do that. Projects again. Go to select your project, Killer App. And then I'm going to add workers. Add a worker to this project. And I think I've got a testing task in here. There you go, testing. Worker name, Tester Tammy. Project team role, she's going to do 20 hours of testing. Alright. Let's see. Another thing that you can do, there's another view called Worker Task View. This is kind of what I was showing earlier. Killer App, Analyst Andy. This is what you see from that other screen. It's just a different view on the data. It's the same thing that you're going to get on that worker screen. It's a different view of the data. Shows you the tasks they're assigned to, estimated hours and actual hours. All the information that you put in about them. Nice, easy way to see. And while I'm on Tester Tammy, if I want to add another task, very easy to pick that out. So if she happens to be a developer as well, notice it pre-filled her name and the worker name. We give her 5 hours of development work. And there you go. All right, I want to go back to the Workers tab and show you a couple more things in detail. Number one is, so we've talked about the contractor information. It's pretty self-explanatory if you want to make a distinction between contractors and non-contractors. In terms of assigning projects, we've gone over that pretty well. I also want to show you that if I click on a worker that's been assigned a task, you're going to see that in their dashboard. And let's see, billing and pay rates. Billing and pay rates, if I have Java Jerry, I have multiple different rates that I can apply. I can put the default bill rate for this person, my default rate for Jerry, and let's say my bill rate for him, which is what I bill my customer for his work, is $100. I actually pay him $75. And you can see my rates show up. I also have project bill rate. So if I clicked apply project bill rate for Jerry, Java Jerry, then I could say I get to select the project. So this is if I have a normal rate for this person I work with a lot of times, but in this case I happen to be able to negotiate a higher rate with him. I got a great rate for Jerry, and I'm going to put it at 125. And his pay rate out of that is 100. So, and this applies to invoicing. So once you get to the point where you've captured time on this project, these bill rates will be captured on invoicing. And that's it. We've kind of gone through the basic functionality on assigning workers and adding workers to your tenant account, assigning them to projects. We talked a little bit about billing and pay rates. We talked a little bit about the contract information. And that's it. Thank you.